Growing up, society taught you to follow the script by choosing a career path and climbing the ladder. But for many people, this promise falls flat. Work suffocates them and life becomes painful. Here, you're trapped in what I call the corporate cage. Fortunately, there's a way out. You can take control of your corporate job and unlock a life of freedom. I call this living uncaged. Hi, this is your host, Matt Doan. I'm a coach, creator, and entrepreneur. Uncaging people is my mission because it's been my exact life journey. This show provides you the stories, principles, and tactics to make it happen. Welcome to Uncage Yourself.
Everyone wants to escape the rat race. How could you not? The idea of it just sounds ridiculous. You being a rat running around some race, hamster wheels, all this stuff. Of course it sounds stupid. Who wants to admit they're a rat? Now listen, the reality is you might still be stuck there. As much as you don't want to admit it, you have to have an honest conversation with yourself in the mirror. Because if you're going to work, you hate it. It's robotic. You don't feel like you're getting anywhere. Your growth is just this flatlining thing over the years, barely keeping up with inflation. My friend, if this is the case and your personal life is getting run over by work and you're not happy, you might be a rat and you're racing. So let's fix that. Today, we're going to go into the top 15 reasons why people remain stuck in that terrible thing called the rat race. And we're going to get you unstuck, moving towards a life of your own design, full of freedom. All right? Now, before we dive in, if you're digging the Uncage Yourself show, my friend, I'd really appreciate if you let the world know. So jump on Apple Podcasts, take 2 minutes, leave a quick review. It really helps us get the word out. Or if you could share something on social media, something you loved about a specific episode, it means the world to me. Keeps me fueled and makes sure that we keep getting the word to the people that need it. All right? Thanks so much. All right. 15 reasons why you're still stuck in the rat race. Let's dive in. Number 1, you don't understand that the rat race is actually a mental game. While you think it's all about the stuff happening out there at the job or your boss or the nature of your industry or your work itself, no, it's not about that at all. It's not something that happens to you. It's not an environment. It's not anything external. You're just subscribing to the rat race. You're playing by rules that you've observed. You've seen everyone else running around like a rat, and you choose to follow those same rules. Now, those rules weren't created by anyone smarter than you or I. They're there for the questioning, for the challenging. So instead of this, you can be a free agent, create your own rules right where you are. That sounds outlandish at first until you think about it. On a daily basis, how do you rewrite your own rules? Play this out in your head. It's a mental game. Number 2, we don't use the 9-to-5 as leverage. Now, everyone likes to escape the 9-to-5 and run from it. I think the opposite. I think it's an amazing asset that we need to leverage. We're just not taught how. So just think about all the skills, the experiences, relationships, the compensation, the company logos on your LinkedIn profile. Do you understand how to use those to your max advantage? You've got to have systems in place to leverage them for personal freedom. Most people barely scratch the surface here. They just take it as it is, but they don't see that your title, the company you work for, the relationships you've created, your experiences, you can spin all of that, package it, communicate it strategically with an end in mind to create more outcomes in your life, a better job, an entrepreneurial path. You can open up new doors. You can meet your heroes. You can get access to communities you don't know of right now. You can open up pathways you don't even know exist, but you can't just stay in your little box. You've got to leverage all that the 9-to-5 gives to you. Third reason why people remain stuck in the rat race is that their dream isn't big enough. Truth be told, you'll stay completely stuck if you just want a moderately or incrementally better career and life. You've got to unlock from that flatlining, barely increasing trajectory of yours. You've got to dream 10x bigger, 10 times bigger. Make it outlandish so that it activates you, scares you, awakens you. Now, rats, they play that incremental game. They'll keep going for the 3% raises, keeping pace with inflation and all that stuff. My uncaged clients, they think 10x. They operate in the realm of the exponential. You've got to dream ridiculously high to activate yourself, to unlock from your current behaviors. You've got to do that. Otherwise, you're going to stay stuck in the same norms, behaviors, rules, culture, bullshit, all that stuff. You've got to unlock by dreaming bigger. Number 4, why we stay stuck. It's this: people lack skin in the game. Now, you might claim that you're doing personal development or self-investment. So what are you doing? You're listening to a podcast like this. You're reading books. You're following all your heroes on social media. All that's passive, though. It's not skin in the game. You might invest $20 here and there or a digital course. That's not enough. Not at all. You need to invest serious money, time, and energy so that the specific transformation you crave happens. Maybe you want to build a side business. Maybe you want to get ridiculously healthy. Maybe you want to prioritize powerful experiences with your family and be there every single night and weekend. Well, that requires a specific type of transformation. And when you put the skin in the game to make that your focus, it becomes the one priority in your life for some period of time till it becomes normal. But without that skin in the game, you won't give it the attention. Where your money flows, your attention goes. Same thing here, right? Gotta have skin in the game.
Hey, Matt here. Quick break. I'd like to gift you a valuable resource. It's a short video training that helps you uncage yourself. You'll find it at uncagedworkshop.com. There, you'll learn my exact method for escaping the corporate cage, creating a self-directed life, and unlocking uncapped income by doing work you love. So go check out that short video at uncagedworkshop.com. All right, back to the show.
Number 5, too many people just try to carve their new path alone. Now, I'm very guilty of trying this for too long. I thought I could build my own path by absorbing the ideas from others I saw around me. That was an utter failure. I spent years just reading and passively consuming and through osmosis thinking I would take the right actions, but it's not the way it works. Instead, it's critical to surround yourself with people, strategies, and energy that keep you moving toward your North Star, keeps you accountable. Your dream is dead on arrival without this community. And again, it goes back to skin in the game. You've got to invest serious money, time, and energy to have that community, to be on that path with others, to be with them. It doesn't happen haphazardly or without big investment. This is how we get focused. We're human. That's how it works. Number 6, why we stay stuck. People go straight to business building. I know a lot of people, corporate professionals who are like, screw this, I'm going to go build my own thing. I used to think that way quite immediately too. But they jump straight to building their business. They say, oh, I'm this cybersecurity professional or digital transformation or marketing guru, and think I'm going to go just build my own version of that on my own. People will want to buy from me. I'm a known commodity. They believe they've got this concept locked down. All their skills are completely transferable, one for one, from doing it for a company to doing it on their own. But they haven't even begun the work to figure this out yet. They're missing out on so much. And a lot of it comes down to deeply introspective inner work. Your journey must start with this intense discovery, knowing yourself, your mind, your talents, what the market needs are. A very intelligent, quiet, often coach-enabled discovery process to help surface what you're about, what you're meant to do. Only then can we intelligently experiment with the business concept running through your head. Now, your idea that you have right now might end up being the one you really bring into existence later. That's fine, but you've got to do the inner work first. Otherwise, it won't stick. You'll run out of energy. It won't be the right fit. There's a million reasons why it won't work. if you don't do that work first. You need a foundation. Go inward. Number 7, we've got these outdated relationships that hold us back. Right now, truth be told, you're carrying excess baggage. Lots of ways, but in reality, a lot of it comes down to people and the voices that are infiltrating your mind. And they have no business doing so. They don't know you. They're not involved in your goals, your thoughts and feelings, what your dreams are. So we can't let those default people influence our dream. And when I say default people, it's the default people that show up in your life. Family members, colleagues that you have contact with every day, old friends. These people, they don't have your dreams. They're not going where you're going. So what business do they have telling you what's what? It's got to be one of your own design. We've got to minimize the impact of those people in your world and upgrade our relationships. Graduate from the old ones, say thank you, I'm moving on, and then upgrade to the new ones. Yes, we've got to keep family, but we've got to be filtering what we allow into our brains from them. But you've really got to get back to investing in people that are pulling you forward, that are walking with you, that are a few steps ahead of you, that are miles ahead of you. They're all going to pull you forward. That's how it works. Number 8, why we stay stuck in the rat race is this. We are unclear how our career enables our desired life. Let me ask you this. Why are you striving in your career? Honestly, to what rich and compelling end are you pushing yourself? Until you generate crystal clarity on the life that'll bring you tears of gratitude to your eyes, man, your professional efforts are just completely ineffective. You don't know what you're going for that will light you up, that will make your future self proud. Your career enables life, full stop. Career is not this thing we do for itself or for the money. It's because it creates a life, and you've got to have an intelligent system to say how my career efforts over time are compounding into the desired life I want. You better have a very clear view of what that life is. Otherwise, you'll never get there. Number 9, we're not doing the daily micro work required to get out of the rat race. Now, your daily work is an infinite game. It's about continually up-leveling your goals, abilities, and energy. It might practically look like meditation, exercise, reading, writing, or networking. But you've got to understand what your work is on a daily basis and commit to it daily. Notice how I did not confuse work for yourself with work from your job. 2 separate things. Your work with a capital W, as Steven Pressfield would say, is very independent and much more important than the work a job will give you. Yes, you've got to do the work of the job, but your real work is about mastering the game of life. Number 10, we don't set personalized escape criteria from the rat race. Here's what I mean. Lots of people want to fully escape corporate life. I get it. I ended up doing that myself in order to have this mission to help others. I needed to do that. But in order for you to escape, you need to have a very clear strategy and plan for doing it. At the core, you need to have criteria that must be met for you to qualify for leaving, because you've got to manage risk, especially if you have a family. You want to escape intelligently, not recklessly. To develop your escape criteria if that's the path for you. And over what duration does it make sense? Is it 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, 5 years? It means different things for different people. Keep the 9 to 5 as an asset, figure out your escape plan, know your criteria. Number 11, people think, I've already got X figured out. X can be lots of things. They know how to leave their job. They know how to create a new business. They know how to get healthy. They know how to develop relationships that'll bolster their career. Sorry, that attitude is going to destroy you. Never assume. As the saying goes, assuming makes an ass out of you and me. Disconnecting from the rat race is both a mental and physical activity, and it's freaking hard work. You're going to run into challenges and fears that you never anticipated. Think about pulling back from work by 50% hours while everyone else slaves around like a robot, and you know you can do the job in half the time and still be effective. That's scary. Don't think you can just do that on your own. You're going to run into fears, self-sabotage. You're going to worry about what people think of you. Get the help you need. It's going to destroy you if you try to do it alone. Get your mentors, empty your cup, and do the work. Ask what you need to do and then do the work the mentors say. Number 12, we stay stuck because we believe it's all about passive income. Ooh, this term is getting to me, my friends. Now, I'm a believer in it. I love the idea of passive income. And when I've had it in my life, I've been so thankful for it, right? But this is a trap because people think it's all about passive income. They think the next rental property and the next one will buy them freedom. I've had several people in my coaching programs that start with this idea of, oh, I just have to, take my excess salary each year and buy another condo and another condo. And then over 10 or 20 years, they'll have freedom. I'm like, how is that any different from just staying trapped until you're 65 and relying on a 401k? You've got to do much more active work. You've got to bring the tenacity, my friends. You're healthy, living well now. Let's bring our best, okay? Yes, passive income is helpful, but it's secondary to the primary work of reinventing your relationship with work and becoming entrepreneurial. When you're entrepreneurial, you can surge on income generation, on fulfillment, on creating relationships, creating exponential opportunities. That is a very, very active process. It's not passive. And let's be clear, creating rental properties and that stuff too, that's active too. But you can't just obsess over passive income. You've got to surge actively on creating an entrepreneurial force that is you and bring that to the world while you can. I stress that because we don't know what tomorrow holds. While you can means get your family in a good state. Do the work while you can. Don't just stay glued to a default path, okay? So don't just believe it's all about passive income. Number 13, people get stuck playing popular entrepreneurship games. I was here for a couple of years. If you go scour LinkedIn or some other social source, most of your heroes out there have daily posts, newsletters, and podcasts, much like this one. They play this game of organic growth over time, thinking that alone, that will unlock their dreams. Well, it did for a few people. The people you're listening to, it did work for them. But guess what? Now, 100 million other people saw this and are doing the same thing. Please realize that the competition is fierce. The market is saturated. Crowd behavior creates crowd results. You get what I'm saying? It's a different world in 2023 than 4 or 5 years ago when a lot of those people started. So instead, I want you to seek out atypical strategies that others are quietly succeeding with. Go to communities on how they're building entrepreneurial futures, whether it's how to market, whether it's how to sell, whether it's how to create a product or service or a productized service. There's other games to be played. It's not always about the popular games because that one is becoming harder, especially if you're starting from scratch today. I'm not saying don't do it. There's lots of value in doing many of those games, but don't think your dream will unlock solely because of those activities, okay? Number 14, we stay stuck because family or, quote, responsibilities prevent us from trying. Let me ask you this. How much is your freedom worth to you? Most people answer this to me. When they describe it, they sum up and say, it is priceless, Matt. Well, you better not let your so-called constraints get in the way, right? In fact, use them as motivation. For example, I do all the work I do for my wife and kids. I think about them every morning. I imagine their faces in dark times, and that motivates me. But more importantly, their faces when they light up seeing my success, that motivates me forward, right? I'm not going to let constraints of my job, my financial situation, my time, my health, my family, none of that's going to get in the way. I'm going to design a situation where I will succeed no matter what. It's going to be brick by brick. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to feel like it's never working, but you've got to have faith in that invisible progress, okay? You can't let things prevent you, especially external stuff like a job. My friends, that's just a design challenge. Re-engineer that shit. You can do way better. Like I said, I cut out 50% of my work hours. Can you imagine over years how much time I got back and energy to be a better father, husband, eventually an entrepreneur, a healthier person? All because I set my intent, I designed, and then I engineered it to reality. You can do the same. So don't let anything get in your way. Do not blame external constraints or even things going on in your head. It's all addressable. Everything is figure outable. as Marie Forleo would say. Number 15, last one. Why do we stay stuck? It's because we are lacking mentors who've gone through the fire. And I'm telling you, my friend, it is fire to get out of the rat race, but it's so worth it. It's actually why on social media recently, I declared war on digital courses. Here's what I mean. We need personalized help from people that can relate to what we're experiencing. Escaping the rat race per your own success criteria is inherently a custom activity. You've got to invest in mentors that can help you avoid pitfalls, help you spot problems, accelerate you to your dream. If you just open up a digital course that was made for millions of people, or a book or a podcast that is just talking one way out to a broad audience, that's not specific for you. Sure, it can be directionally relevant, can help you some, but in reality, is that going to affect your future? No. You've got to do way more custom work. That's why we go back to mentors, especially mentors that are a few steps ahead, maybe a few years ahead, so they can absolutely relate to where you've been, what you're going through now, and pull you forward, help you spot the obstacles, circumnavigate them, go around all these things, just get you to where you need to be faster. You don't have time to waste. Don't go this alone, okay? You can do it, but you've got to have mentors in your back pocket. Whew, all right, I know that was a lot. But all 15 of these perspectives are based on hard-earned experience that I went through over years and my clients are going through. So take them to heart. And you've got to realize this big point. The rat race isn't something that's happening out there in the world. It's all in here, inside of you. You have the keys to freedom, my friend. And I'm unlocking that with you today in these 15 points. You've got to internalize them, put them to practice. But know this. I will remind you kind of a meta point here today. The fastest and most effective way to escape the rat race is to invest in the right mentors. Get the people around you, the energy, the community, the structure, the tempo, the momentum that'll get you from hell to heaven. You're in a hell right now. It's called the rat race. Your heaven is some definition of freedom that you need to get clarity on. They've got to help you get from that hell to that heaven. And you've got to get out of your own way and you got to go do the work. Sure, it can be simple, but it's not easy, but it's intensely worth it. An entirely new career and life awaits you if you're willing to do the work. Now, when we think about getting out of the rat race and coming back to mentorship, this is exactly what my team and I specialize in. And the way we can jumpstart that is through a very simple and targeted conversation called a breakthrough call. So if you head on over to matthewdoan.com/talk, you can book that call. It's a quick 2-minute form to give us some context, and then you can book a time, whatever works for you. In that call, we'll do 3 things together in about 45 minutes. Number 1, we'll look at your current work situation. We'll look at what's working, what's not working, and why. Secondly, we'll look at what you'd like your career and life to look like instead, and we will dream big, well beyond anything you've experienced right now. Exponential stuff, not incremental. And thirdly, we'll go through the exact game plan to get you there. So head on over to matthewdoan.com/talk to book that breakthrough call. So it comes down to a simple question. Are you stuck in the rat race and do you want to get out? If so, these 15 points, I'm telling you, will unlock you in a hurry, but you've got to do the work. You've got to invest in the right things, the right mentors, the right systems. These points, though, are what absolutely got out of me plugged into that rat race, eating cheese, running around, feeling eventually completely frustrated, my life being overrun. With time, I spent my last 5 years in corporate completely at ease, in control, while everyone else around me was going crazy. You can do the same. Go escape the rat race, my friend. You've got this.
Hey, Matt here. Thanks for listening to Uncage Yourself. For show notes and more content like this, head over to uncageyourself.fm. And if you liked what you heard, I'd appreciate you leaving a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Until next time, be well, my friend.